this guy, Unwardil, whatever his name is, I forced him into talking to me about his abridged episode of Last Exile. Now, because he doesn't want to talk to a Pokemon, I'm gonna have my stunt double talk to him about stuff. So here he is. Unwardil is how do you say your name?
That'd be Unwardil.
Pickle. Okay, so here he is. Now, what was the question? Okay, let me talk, because you've had enough coffee for one day. I don't drink coffee, I drink caffeine. Okay, shut up. Okay, now, so how did you start doing, or what possessed you to do an abridged episode of any sort in the first place?
Oh, your usual thing. If you've seen Little Karibo.
Who's that? No.
Yeah. Never heard of him. No, I've always been interested in just generally theatrical and artistic crap. And the whole beauty of an abridged series is that, one, most of it's already done for you because the animation's already there. You just have to shamelessly steal it. Two, basically your characters and voices are already there too, if you're a dubbed anime I have. And so everything else is just basically to fill in the writing, and I've always loved just generally making fun of shit that I love. It's probably the worst thing anyone could do is make something that I really like, because then I'll completely rip the new one.
Now, why did you pick Last Exile versus, something else? I mean, everything else seems like it had been done.
When I started it, no one else had done one. So that first thing number one. Thing number two is that the first episode script totally wrote itself once I thought, well, what if I could do this with Last Exile? And I hacked together a script that took me probably 2 hours. And yeah, so you stick those two things together, and that's why. Plus, it is one of my favorite
animes. Back in the day when Karibo was doing his stuff, he basically got drummed off YouTube. But now abridgers are not having this problem anymore. I'm not really sure why. I think YouTube has changed how you report people, and I think that's for the better. But what was your feelings? Did you join in the chorus of people saying, bring back Little Karibo, or did you think it was better for him to have his own webpage? Or
I think he works better on YouTube, to be honest. I actually came to it late after that. I didn't even get into this abridged thing until he'd already been kicked off YouTube. So, but no, I think the whole genre definitely needs this sort of YouTube. Everyone can look at it and reply to it.
Now I've got to ask, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do next? What's the next series, or do you even?
Immediately, the next thing that I'm gonna do is an 8th Mobile Suit Team abridged song, and I think I've managed to compress the entire song into several verses of Suicide is Painless. Currently in the process of scripting an Akira movie abridged.
Oh wow! Now you did the last song, but you haven't done the opening song parodied, or did you? And I just
no, I didn't do an opening song parody. I had one written up, but it's the problem of getting the background track to sound anything like.
What?
I can't, unfortunately, because it's a techno rave style thing, and it's really difficult to do.
Now, did you watch the Japanese subtitled, or did you watch the American, or both versions to get some ideas?
For the ideas, I was almost entirely taken from the dub. Because I like dubs, especially for an anime like that. So little of it is actually based on the dialogue. Actually, it's almost entirely a visual thing, and so if you're distracted by subtitles, it sort of takes away from it. So
right.
Mostly from the dub.
Right, and you have a lot more to make fun of with the English version. They oftentimes
exactly. There's so much lost in translation in that show. I mean, Volca is the best example of that. It's if you look on the tombstone in the very last episode, it's Barca. His father's name is Hamilcar. Don't tell me his last name is Volca. Hamilcar Barca. Do you know your history? I don't know how the hell they got Volca out of it, but should have been Barca.
You know, I don't really pick up on, I guess, small details like that, but...
Oh, I didn't notice it for like the 8th time watching these series.
What other animes do you watch?
I am a big fan of any anime that can basically tell its story in a short time. So, first season, Fullmetal Alchemist, Escaflowne, Cowboy Bebop, you know, things like that. I haven't seen Bacano, but I want to. This looks cool.
The other voice involved.
Yeah. The other main character voice is Cassie614, and I talk with her on Skype all the time. She basically asked me to be in it, to which I'm like, no, I don't want the extra thing in your excellent voice talent. So. But no, the only reason she got Dunya, I totally would have made her she must be a bait or someone bigger, except that by that time I'd already got all those voices done, for better or for worse. But Dunya still hadn't been taken because she wasn't yet. Or she was, but she hadn't said anything yet. So it's easy enough to add her like that.
Right, yeah.
And the other voice I had was Tyrus GWA, just because I'm a fan of his Gun Abridged, and the character looks exactly like Zax Marquis, right down to the silly white mask and the whatnot. So I had a conversation for that.
Talk about the goat shenanigan episode that irritated a few people.
Oh, the goat shenanigan. There's the thing with the goat. It gets left behind in the last 6 episodes, and I wanted to. I mean, I turned it into such a pivotal character. I definitely wanted to give it its own out, and I just didn't have anything funny to do with the coronation ceremony. So I figured there's this pot of boiling goat guts. So I figured I'd kill off the goat, but make it rise from the dead again as the omnipotent spectral figure of the Last Exile Abridged.
What were you thinking? Seemed like a good idea at a time, right?
Yeah.
But this won't offend anybody at all.
But, having done that, I can't just say, this was the goat. He lived as he died, bleeding lame all over the place. It might have worked too, but there's no lip flap for that whole scene. They don't say anything.
Right. I mean, not everybody was offended, but, a few people were. I mean, you always run that risk.
Yeah. I mean, the intention was never to offend. It was to have the cadence of religion based around it. And, I mean, if I was Jewish, it would have been Jewish prayer. If I was Muslim, it would have been Muslim.
Yeah.
But I have no experience with them. But I do know the Lord's Prayer. Because I sang at a church choir, and you do it every Sunday. So that was why that was what it was. And the same thing with the math.
You milked that goat for all it was worth.
Yes.